This picture, just one piece of evidence coming out of a major trial in downtown St. Louis tonight. 3 white city police officers are accused of beating this man who was an undercover officer during a protest in 2017. News 4's Chris Nagus is following the trial and reports from the federal courthouse.
At times, the testimony was emotional. Luther Hall recalled the night that he was arrested and assaulted by fellow officers. Prosecutors showed pictures of Hall's injuries to the jury. He had extensive injuries to his face and testified that his jaw muscles were so inflamed he couldn't eat solid food for weeks and lost 20 pounds. He says Officer Dustin Boone texted him to offer an apology, but Hall did not respond because he didn't believe it was genuine. He also testified that the camera he was carrying was removed from around his neck and tossed to the ground. Hall said Officer Christopher Myers removed the battery from that camera. Hall also said he did not tell fellow officers he was undercover because it would destroy his undercover status with protesters. Defense attorneys painted a picture of a tense and chaotic scene that Hall was in the middle of that night, and that Hall conducted his own investigation of the events in question and learned from another officer which officers were actually at the scene that night. The defense attempted to paint a picture that Hall might be confused about the events and the way they unfolded that night. We have Heather Taylor. She's with the Ethical Society of Police. You've been watching the testimony in this case. What do you make of the defense today, the questions they were asking Mr. Hall?
I think the defense is doing what they're paid to do, to antagonize and to, try to get up under his skin. And I think he's doing a good job with keeping his composure with some of the questions that have been a little ridiculous about his injuries. I mean, injuries are something that you can't hide.
It appears they're trying to cast doubt or confusion on his timeline of events and the way this actually played out.
Oh, absolutely. That's what they're paid to do. And when it's all said and done, Luther's been consistent. I think we're going to prevail in this.
Testimony in the case will resume tomorrow. Of course, you can stay with News 4 for continuing coverage of this trial. Chris Nagus, News 4.